Howdy, loners. We're back again with another video. Thank you all for sticking around with us this long. And we just want to say we appreciate you all for liking, subscribing, commenting, and jumping over to our vlog channel.
And for doing the same on this one. And yeah.
Yep. This is episode 191. Run it. All right.
Yay. Woo.
I can't believe how long we've been doing this.
It's been like 2 weeks.
No, I mean like in general, this channel.
Oh, not that long.
Like a year.
That's not a long time.
It doesn't feel like it. I guess it's really not that long. But all right, yeah. Thank you all for being here again. We appreciate it.
Yes, and for putting up with us. Because we are just so fun. We're just so amazing, and
that's why you jump over to the vlog channel all the time. All right. So today we're gonna do a video called "How to Piss Off the English." That should be fun. It's by our boy Walt.
How to piss off the English. Step 1: exist.
All right.
Exist as an American.
Let's see. No, English love us.
Do they?
Yeah, they do. Of what I've heard, the people from the UK love Americans. All right, let's go.
Either that or you live in blissful delusion.
That could be it too.
Hey there, fellow travelers. Mark here with Walter's World, and today we're in Chester, England, and today we're going to talk about are some of the kind of faux pas or traveler faux pas that travelers do when they travel to England that might upset the locals, okay? Because we don't want to upset the locals when we're here, because the English are super awesome to tourists when they come here. So be awesome to them, all right? And the first thing that tourists sometimes upset the locals with, and it might be different in your country than here, that's queue jumping. You know, jumping the line, skipping the line. Look, in England, queue culture is a thing. You follow the line. You get behind the person behind you and you wait your turn. Whether you're getting on the tube, the train, at a store, the shop, the post office, wherever, it's always a nice queue waiting in line and no one complains about it.
I like that because, whenever I'm in a line here, it really does annoy me when people try to jump in front or cut. It's very rude and annoying.
Yeah, I feel like it's considered rude here.
Yeah.
So isn't that the same thing?
But I feel like a lot of people try to do that here more probably than over there.
Staying to get on the trains or get into shops and stuff like that, don't be surprised if someone says, "Excuse me, sir," because that's not something that happens here, okay? So make sure you're staying in line. And there's certain people, certain tourists, we know who you are, okay? Make sure you're not queue jumping. Another thing to guarantee to upset a local, and this isn't really a tourist thing that tourists do, but something that's guaranteed to upset the locals, it's just 2 words: engineering work. Or maybe you might hear this: replacement bus service or industrial action. Look, anything that makes public transportation not work right, that will annoy the English, because it might be that, hey, we are working on the train lines, or this service is not happening right now. And that's one of those things that you can literally see the kind of disappointment come over their faces when you hear the words engineering work and you're like, oh, replacement bus service. You can literally see their souls leaving their bodies. And the thing is, when you come here to England, you'll notice that people are very polite. I mean, not everybody, but in general, people in England are very polite. They're very mannerly. And if you're not mannerly and polite when you're here, that does upset the locals. They do expect a thank you, a please, and they're going to say excuse me if they bump into you, and expect the same thing there. That's why pushy tourists and tourist groups that just kind of shove through things, those are things that people in England don't really like very much. It's the kind of...
I feel like this man has a very narrow view of some places. He very much gives tourist energy.
Yeah, I know. He does. But I'm sure, it is good advice, but yeah,
no,
it's kind of
absolutely.
general, yeah.
It's definitely something that it's worth listening to.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I've seen some London videos. I'm like,
how accurate is this? Yeah.
Y'all are a rambunctious bunch. Not everyone.
Australians are more rambunctious. But yeah.
But it's not. It's not everyone. Yeah. There's I feel like there's so.
It depends where you go to.
There's polar
opposites.
Sorry, what were you saying?
It depends where you go, probably in the UK also.
Right, and generations too.
Yep.
Because some generations, I'm like, you guys are not saying excuse me.
very much. It's that kind of irks them. So make sure you are minding your P's and Q's and you're being polite when you are going around. And I know that's something that people say, well, you should do that anywhere. Well, yeah, it's true. But in some places, a shove here, a push there isn't really a big deal. Here, it's not really cool, okay? So, be polite when you are here. Now, another thing for my American friends that will always get your English friends to kind of roll their eyes at you is if you call football soccer. Look, they call it football because you kick it with your foot. They'll have plenty of ways to disparage American football when you call football soccer here. So just don't. Just call it footy. Call it football. Or just stay that way. Talk about the Cowboys and you go back to the U.S. It's fine, okay? I know the Jaguars play here in England occasionally, but come on. Football is football. Soccer is silly to them. Now, another thing that might irk your English friends is if you kind of think that everybody's from London or everything is by London, which you have to realize is England is a whole country. It's not just one city of London. And that's why if you're coming to a place like Chester or you're going to York or whatever, or you meet somebody from here and they go, oh, I'm from York, I'm from Chester. Like, oh, is that near London? No, dude. London's in the south of England. We're in the north of England. There's even the Midlands in between us. Okay, so that's one of those things that people do kind of get upset. They're like, look, there's more to this beautiful country than just London. And that's why it kind of irks them, because you'll see that people are very proud of their local village, of their local shire, their local area, so you do have that. But it doesn't matter where you are in England, where, north, south, Midlands, wherever. Another thing that's going to really upset them is you make them a bad cup of tea, okay? Because getting a cup of tea here is...
Wait, so then is coffee really not that popular over there? And it's more tea, I'm guessing?
It's 1,000% tea, yeah.
Damn, I love coffee, though. I like it more than tea.
Tea's really good, though. There's so many varieties of tea. Love it.
Earl Grey's the caffeinated one, right? Like the caffeine tea?
Usually any, black tea is caffeinated.
Earl Grey just sounds like it was a English bloke.
Yeah, it does.
Cup of tea here is really, really an important thing, and make sure you're making it right. So if you look online, you'll see English people pulling the hair out that they still have left in their head when they see people microwaving water for their tea. Look, get that kettle. And you'll see your hotel, your inn, your bed and breakfast, they'll probably have a kettle in your room that you can use in order to make tea in your own room, all right? So making a bad cup of tea, straight off way to get them to go, oh, dude, what's wrong with you? Another thing that'll probably annoy your English friends is if you go out and you order beers and you make fun of their ales, because they love their ales, and you start ordering things like Coors, which is an American beer. When in a great city like Chester, come on. Get the local brews when you're here. Your English friends aren't going to like it if you're not drinking local with them.
I love beer.
Me too.
Another not cool thing that tourists sometimes do is they go out with locals and then they skip out on their round. Okay, here in the UK, in England and Britain and all around over here, people like to go out to the pubs with their buddies. And you go out and everybody's getting rounds. So you go with 4 buddies, realize that you're going to have 4 rounds. Okay, you're going to be drinking 4 beers. Just accept it. That's the way it is. And you're going to pay for one of those rounds. And if you're that friend that skates out, oh, get the first couple, then you're like, oh, I gotta go. They're like, dude, I bought a round, he bought a round, why aren't you getting your round? That's gonna end some friendships and get.
Damn.
I would be the person that would buy the first round so that I can get the out whenever I feel like it.
No, that I didn't realize how big of a thing that is, but I actually do now. I recall the guys from Birmingham. They definitely bought rounds, but.
You didn't buy one, Brian?
No.
Wow.
Well, yeah, but I didn't realize that. The first time I did meet the guy from Birmingham, though, I did buy the round because my sister was like, "Hey, they already bought a round,
Fork out.
they both bought a round, so it's your turn." And I'm like, it was only 3 of us, so I was like, okay, fine.
You not invited back out to the pub, so don't skip out on the round because you will lose some friends on that. It can be quite annoying and quite rude, really.
Wow.
Now, another thing that kind of, I don't know if it irks them, but it just gets more of the eye-rolling nature that people have when tourists come to England is when they try their British accent. Yeah, just don't. Just don't.
She's going to do that.
Just don't. Just stop. Just stop. If you speak English how you speak English.
Stop.
When you try to copy the accent, and I know people, they go to Texas and they go to the south of the U.S. try to mock the accent and imitate the accent, and they just end up looking like a fool. Here, it's the same thing. Now, I will tell you this. The people here in England, they'll never tell you that anything you do here will upset them or annoy them because that's not how they are. But it's one of those things that you probably want to know so you don't look a fool. Now, another thing I think is important.
There was one time I'm allowed to look like a fool, or I'm comfortable looking like a fool, and it is speaking in a British accent.
You guys let us know.
You can't not do it.
Yeah.
When you're near a British person.
It's also because it's a very cool accent.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and it's fun.
Yeah.
It's a very fun accent. It's probably one of the only accents I don't feel like I'm making fun of anybody by copying. Because I'm not doing it from a place of making fun of. It's just...
It's
it,
fun.
Like, it's just a scratch in my brain.
Yeah, it's fun.
Also, totally off topic, but I feel like the UK's version of yellow school bus is the red telephone booths. Because you know how they get fat? No, I don't know about
That's true. That makes
a lot
sense.
of Europeans are, like, they get stoked when they see a yellow school bus here.
Yeah.
Because they only seen it, or like or red solo cups. I feel like their version is.
That makes sense.
Important is when you come into England, it's very much, it's not always prim and proper. There's some prim and properness. There's some etiquette out there. And I think one of the etiquette things that some tourists don't realize is you always want to leave a little space. So if you're on public transportation, you're on the bus, you're not sitting right next to the person. You leave a seat in between. If the train's not full, you're not sitting right next to somebody. You're leaving a space
I like that
in between.
rule.
Same.
If you're going to the bathroom and there's urinals, you don't hike up right next to the next person there if there's other
I hate
open
it when people
urinals.
do
So
that.
give people a little space when you're here because they like a little space. They're not up in your face kind of stuff here in England, okay? Now, I realize this next one might seem a little counterintuitive, but honestly, if you tell people that it rains all the time when you come to England, that doesn't go over well either. I know whenever we mention weather in any of our videos about England, people say, well, last summer we had 40 degrees Celsius and we had sun, and you're right. The weather here, it doesn't rain all the time. I mean, I know it's raining now. It was actually beautiful sunny earlier today when I was going and seeing the sights. I should have filmed then, but honestly, I've gotten sunburned 3 different times visiting England, okay? In the summertime, it can be really sunny.
are a
It can
pale
be bright, but
motherfucker,
yes,
though. That's
it
probably
does rain
why.
occasionally, but not all the time. And if you act like it's always raining, need your wellies all the time and your umbrella all the time, no, you
Wellies.
don't, okay? And even the locals will be
Wellies.
like, yeah, it rains a lot, but not all the time,
but-
especially in the summer. Now, another thing that might annoy the locals here is if you don't know the difference between the United Kingdom of Great Britain and Northern Ireland, Great Britain, England, Scotland, Wales, how they're all kind of different entities, because people from Scotland identify as Scottish, and the Welsh identify as Welsh, and the English identify as English, but some of them are okay with being British. But the thing is, if you call somebody from Scotland English, or you call somebody from English Scottish, a lot of those people take that as an insult for different ways. And I'm sure
Yeah, I
people
could
down
see that.
below will tell me if you tell somebody Scottish or they're like a Scotsman, what that means, or they're like a Welsh, what that means, or if they're English, what that means. There's a lot of different connotations that are there. So make sure you know where people are from before you blanketly say, oh, you're Scottish, you're Welsh, you're English, you're Irish, you're whatever. Because that's one of the things that might upset people. And then there's 3 words that will probably make your English friends go, dude, you need to learn some English. And that is math, aluminum, and garage. Because here, they don't say math, aluminum, and garage. They say maths,
Just kidding.
they say aluminium, and they say garage. Okay? So just know that though we speak the same language, sometimes we pronounce it completely differently. And so that's why sometimes we kind of roll our eyes at each other. And also pronunciation, can be some fun things. I know myself, sometimes when I've ordered food or I've ordered stuff at stores, people kind of like chuckle at me. They're like, oh yeah, I'll get that for you. Yank. And they kind of walk over and get stuff. So some of these things are really annoying. Some of them are kind of silly stuff. But I just wanted you to know a few things that tourists might do that might make their hosts uncomfortable or annoy them or just make them roll their eyes in silliness. So what are things you see tourists do here in England that really upset the locals? Let us know in the comments below so we can all be better travelers. And I'll say bye from here in Chester, England.
I feel like I would just giggle if someone said aluminum. I would just be like,
Aluminium.
That's a new one.
Aluminium.
Aluminium.
Yeah.
It's like enemy.
Yeah, I know. No, that was a.
Millennium. That's what it sounds like. I wouldn't be like, ugh, fucking nerd. I would just be like, that's a new one.
Yeah. No, that was a cool video though. I like Walter.
I love his
Walter's cool.
I love his random like.
Yeah, I know
still
the little.
shots.
Yeah, they're so funny.
That's very like.
It's like I'm getting a
The
photo from my
Office.
uncle.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Also, yeah.
All right.
That's
Good
funny.
to know about the little things. It's funny because I never would have thought that was such a big deal, the buying around.
I know after yesterday's video
yeah.
and this one, it makes sense. So now you know. Don't be a fucking dick and
God.
buy around.
Yeah. All right. Well, if you guys enjoyed that video, please make sure to like and subscribe and jump over to Zivlog channel. We appreciate it.
Why?
We appreciate it.
Bye.
right.
Thank you.